Okay. Hi, my name is Alexis Brownlee. I'm here representing some clients that are interested in buying your client's house. So they wanted to put down an offer. They love the house. It's in a prime location, and they're willing to pay $250,000 for the house.
Okay, well, I don't know. Are you aware that the house is going for $300,000 right now?
Yeah, so they do know that it's that high, but unfortunately they just don't have it in their budget to pay that much for the house. As I said, it's their dream house, but they really don't have a lot of room to budge in their budget. So really the highest they could put in an offer for would be $250,000.
Okay, well, for the integrity of my practice, we made an agreement with our clients, and the lowest that we would go is $300,000. So unfortunately, I am not able to make anything under that number work.
So when my clients toured the house, they saw that the kitchen was not updated in comparison to other houses in the same neighborhood. It didn't have granite countertops. It didn't have stainless steel appliances. And they were hoping that their house would have that when they moved in. And so they were hoping that you would be able to adjust your price based on that fact, so that if they wanted to buy their own appliances, put in new countertops, it would compensate for that extra amount of money they would have to pay for the house. What do you think your clients would think?
Yeah, so you kind of said it yourself. It's their dream house. You said it's in a prime location. It's everything they could want. We're getting a lot of traffic on this house already. People are willing to buy it as is, so we're not going to be able to budge on that alone. So unfortunately, that is something that they would have to find on their own, and if this is the house that has that, this might not be the right house for them. So we can't go below $300,000.
Okay, so they'd be willing to maybe close on the house later, at a later date, if your clients want to stay in the house a little bit longer. I'm just trying to see if we could find some kind of solution, because they really love the house.
Maybe we could change the date, but with that cost, we can't bring it down anymore. $300,000 is the absolute lowest that we can go.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to get back with my clients and see if they'd be willing to change their, their asking price. Offer. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I'll meet with them again, and hopefully I'll be back. If not, thank you so much again for meeting with me today. Thank you. Okay, so you just watched the first video, and it would be great to pause and write down if you see anything that you feel stands out, maybe anything that was successful for me, anything that wasn't successful for me, and just make note of that, because right now I'm going to go over it, okay? So if you haven't paused or you're unpausing, let's go. So in the first video, I wanted to highlight what it would be like if I were to utilize soft negotiation skills and my opponent was only using hard negotiation skills. Some examples of soft negotiation skills would include changing my position easily. So I continue to offer different alternatives for my clients, which is good, but I gave up what we call a BATNA, which is my best alternative offer to give. And you don't want to reveal that too early in the conversation, because if you do, then your opponent knows where you're coming from and they have the advantage in the end. And when you're really trying to find a win-win situation, that is not ideal. So try to keep those offers to yourself until you feel it's really the right time to offer. In the end, I unfortunately yielded to the pressure of my opponent, who just insisted that there was no negotiating power in what she could do. There was no way she could get her clients to take my offer. And so I ended up having to go back to my clients, let them know that unfortunately you won't be able to get this house and we're going to have to find another one, which is never something you want to have to tell your clients. It happens. Yes, it does. But I did not utilize the best skills in that negotiation to be able to work out the best outcome. And also, my opponent coming with only hard skills and staying very stubborn, anchoring on that one price that her client said that was the bottom line, that's all we're gonna take. By anchoring, which anchoring is another keyword to pay attention to, by anchoring on that number, there was no leeway in changing what any offers would be. And so again, that's also how the negotiation failed, because only using one side of soft negotiation skills and the opposite side of hard negotiation skills is just not ideal. So in the next video, I'll show you what it's like when both sides are using both soft and hard negotiation skills so that they can come to a win-win solution. Whereas in this one, we didn't even come to a solution. She, I guess, won, you would say, would win, and I lost because my clients will have to look for another house. So here we go. Hi, my name is Miss Brownlee. I am here concerning putting in an offer on your seller's house. My buyers are super interested. They love the property. They love the area that it's in. And they're willing to put down an offer of $250,000. So I was just wondering, where your clients are at with that price, how they would feel about it.
Okay, well, with all the conversations with my clients, we've made an agreement that we're not willing to go under $300,000. So how is going in at $300,000 for your clients?
So that's a bit high. Really, the top of their budget was $250,000, but when they saw the house, they fell in love with it, and they told me we have to get this house. And so they are willing to make some adjustments, but when they toured the house, they had noticed that it wasn't updated like other houses in the area. So it didn't have, granite countertops. It didn't have stainless steel appliances, and that's kind of something that they wanted to have in the house already. They also noticed that the basement is unfinished, which would also be an added cost on top of that. So they were hoping that your sellers would be willing to adjust the price so that if, in the future or when they do buy the house or get the house, they'd be able to make those changes to the house without having to pay the $300,000 just because they don't have that in their budget right now.
Okay, now the only thing with that is that depends entirely on the kind of stuff they want to install in the house.
Right.
Because their definition of a remodel might be different from your client's. So what numbers are we talking? Because I might be able to go back and bring that up to them regarding the updating and how much that would cost, but what numbers are you thinking?
Right, so usually with a renovation of that kind, in the kitchen and in the basement, it would probably be around $35,000. So they were hoping that you would bring the $300,000 down, $35,000, just to give them some more cushion room to renovate the house the way they want to with the appliances that they like.
Okay, so I'd be able to bring it down probably, if I can, I'll go back to my clients, talk about bringing it down $35,000. But earlier you mentioned you weren't going to go over $250,000, so that's still above that. So would your clients be willing to pay around that price if I brought it down $35,000, or is that still?
Yeah, so they have a little bit of wiggle room, as I said before. Okay. If those conditions are met, just because they do need some money to make those renovations if they want to get the house.
Okay, yeah. So I know my clients are pretty staunch to that $300,000, but I'm sure I can make a case about that. I know they just want to get this house sold, so I'll go to them about that. We'll see what we can do.
Awesome. It was great working with you today. I hope we hear from you again. Have a great day.
Thank you.
As you can see in that last video, we were able to come to a win-win solution where we would go see our clients, me and my opponent would go see our clients, discuss what was discussed in the negotiation, and then come back hopefully with an offer that both sides were happy with. We were able to get to that point by both using both hard and soft skills. My clients had done their research just as I had on the house, and their dream was to have stainless steel appliances in the kitchen and to have, a finished home. And because that home wasn't finished in the way that they wanted, we were able to have that negotiating power over the representative of the sellers to be able to come to a solution where the sellers would still be getting a good amount of money and the buyers would have money left over to be able to do the renovations they wanted once they bought the house. This is thinking outside of the box. When you're in a negotiation and you do your research correctly and you stay calm and you use both hard and soft skills in the negotiation, you will be able to find a win-win solution in most occasions. You just really have to pay attention to what the opposition wants, what their interests are, and get to the bottom of it so that you can reach that solution. I hope I helped you today. This is the end of the video, and this is in no way all encompassing of all negotiations. This is just a tidbit of how hopefully I can help you in negotiations, but there's plenty of other research out there and plenty of other books and resources that you can utilize, and I encourage you to utilize them, especially if you're doing a very important negotiation in the future to be successful. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope you are successful in the future.